graphic designer professionally, and I've multitasked within the art world, as a graphic designer, as a graffiti artist, as well as working some studio work as well. How I work personally is very much improvised, similar to jazz musicians at times, it's very much improvised. I start my drawings with pretty much no thought into it, but it's when I listen to the music that I can start seeing images. It's not a particular instrument as per se, music as itself is a universal language, and same way as I'm inspired by music, I'm inspired by trees, I'm inspired by birds, so there's no particular instruments, even though I have particular instruments that I enjoy, like, I enjoy the piano, I enjoy the bass, but there's no particular instruments that I would say, okay, that's the instrument that inspires me. If you touch on Beach's Brew, that era of Miles Davis, the covers were done by Masterclass, and he's one of my favorite artists, then you get Babu Grives Dukwana, one of my favorite artists as well, who did album cover for Plum and Cherry. He did some Dollar Brand, Underground in Africa, I think, was him. It's as I was saying before, as an artist, you would try and capture the feeling. The Offering was one of my favorite, was inspired by one of my favorite Zulu sayings, imikhombe yenenana, which that was my first illustrated jazz cover that I've done. I'd done a cover before. I'd done like album covers for other bands, but that was the first one where I was using my own style. So mkhombe yenenana in Zulu is, what you do for me today, I'll do for you tomorrow. Benjamin Jefter, in terms of homecoming, so he's a boy from the Mitchell's Plain, and this is what I got from him. He's a boy from the Mitchell's Plain, and he's trying to go back to his roots, having been raised in a Christian family, and things like that. So I try and pull a lot from the spiritual side of things, Hence you have a cloud that is a face guiding you home, So you've been away from home, and when you go back home, you don't go alone, You go with your people as when you come, Same as when, in isiZulu we say, sanibonani, even when you're alone, We recognize you and your people, So it's that kind of thinking, The boy has been away, but he hasn't been away by himself, He's been away with his people, and they guiding him back home. How do you now suck up the wisdom from Umti? You sit on the tongue, you sit on the tree even when it's fallen, Hence the ancestor and the tree and the figure sitting on the tree. It's like the figure sucking up the knowledge from the tongue. In terms of the circles, everything starts from nothing and becomes something, and then goes back to nothing again, And that's always been my approach, in life in general. It's a philosophy that I've followed, the infinite circle, So in the same way, when I draw, I always tend to want to feature a circle. Understand the idea of empty space, that has to be filled up. With the Amandla Freedom Ensemble, the artwork was done by Tatini Mzwandile, and I did the general layout and the concepts behind the album cover. And the whole idea was, I think on that picture was pretty much the idea of revolutionary music, you know, bearing the times that we're living in. This is instruments. It's no longer stones. We're throwing sounds, and that's the general concept around that.